please don't Begg. It's just not becoming. Oh, you mean this kind of Begg? Begg Knives. Now, is that a good looking? This is a JBO design. Okay, this was a collaborative effort with Begg Knives and JBO, and they came up with the Astio. And can you ask for much more? And I remember, you know, this in the California Customs. It was high end. It was what, around $2,000, right? 1,800, maybe, depending, even in the 2+ category, depending on what kind of materials, zirconium and all kinds of fancy stuff that they were using on them. And you go, boy, I'd sure like to have one that's just affordable, you know, just carry around. And here they are, you know, the Astio and the ever popular Bodega, the Bodega. And you know, this is in G10, it's in D2, right? This Bodega, by the way, you see this dent? It's a factory second. No, it was tested. Oh yeah, I sent it off for testing. And yes, it's real D2, surprise, surprise. But what the big surprise was is how hard this blade is. It's a 62.1 Rockwell. Woo! And so, baby, this thing just, it drops. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. So now they fulfilled my dream of owning a Bodega I could just carry around like nothing, right? And so now I can do it with the Astio. Isn't that cool? And that's much more fetching recurve on there. So yeah, for sharpening a little bit more difficult, you know, but for you know style points, yes. And I like all how they pull this design together with these, you know, right? With this and, of course, these, etc. They kind of carry it off, right? Kind of like, I love it when they do this, right? These holes, I just think it just adds that much more to the design. And it's good looking. These are nice, stout knives. And they're so inexpensive. I think it was $120, and I think you can get these, I think, on White Mountain Knives as well. This is Begg Knives, of course. So this is their website, and this is, you know, pause and read thing, you know, flipper tab, ball bearing system, G10 handle, stainless steel pocket clip, all this, okay, MSRP, but I think the actual MAP price, minimum advertised, is $120, and then, you know, if you can find them on White Mountain, then, which I have a discount code for, which is LTK, then you can get 10% off of that. So, you know, $12 off of that, right? So what is that, 108 or what? I can't remember, but something like that. I'm a math genius. So this is interesting with this subframe lock. Pocket clip is got that ceramic ball, which is the famous Begg type thing that they were doing back in when? 2014, 15, even before then? I mean, I got my first Beggotti in 2015, I think it was. So, but you know what? It was over $2,000 with the cracked ice look and all that stuff. So, you know, it's just not something you can just drag around. And I ended up selling it off and always thinking, you know, wouldn't it be nice if I could just have one I could just drag around and use? And this is sizable enough too. These are big old dogs. Now, of course, I'm looking at these going, it'd be nice to just kick it up to not, you know, to not overly incredibly expensive, but something where maybe you use S35 instead of D2, and then maybe this is titanium, and you could keep this G10. I don't care, you know, but maybe for, you know, $220, something like that. So I could see something in the $250 to $300 range as a mid-level kind of high-end production version of these knives. So, and they got the Quaking out too, and I don't have that. right now, but I probably will put it up on my channel. But yeah, it seems to work just fine, and it's centered and it's solid. But 62.1 as a Rockwell on that D2, that's pretty good. That's pretty hard. That's some of the hardest D2 I've seen on my test results in a long while. So, and there she is too. So, you know, hard is better than soft. That's for sure. If this was at a 58, nah, I don't think so. But at 62.1, yeah, I'm thinking that's pretty good. It looks like you got a bit of a hollow grind here in this multi-grind thing, and then it goes to a flat grind. So this might be pretty handy for just general use as well. Piercing, yeah, some, this and that. And there's no thumb studs or anything to get in the way of cutting. You got a flipper tab, but it's not but it's not difficult to execute. And you know what? Yeah. Okay, yeah, detent. Now, let's say this about the detent. You don't want it real light on a flipper where you got no other way to open this knife. Okay, now, then again, if you can get your finger, see, this is kind of comes up and gets in the way of this fuller. Okay, so really, can you get your finger on it enough to really get, nah. It's not intuitive and it's not easy to do. So, no. So, in that case, you can go for a little bit stronger detent. I like it that way. On a flipper where the flipper tab is my only thing. There's no thumb studs or anything, no front flipper, none of that. Okay, so this makes it snappy, but not overly. This is not overly done. This is really where that detent needs to fall on this knife. But, you know, just the design, of course. I mean, of course, this is like world-class design, right? I mean, I would have bought one if I had all kinds of money, you know, in the high-end deal. I'm sure you can catch one here or there on their stuff. But, I mean, this is their production version of the affordable line, which they've just come out with not that long ago. And so this really changed everything. And then this is nice. I know this is steel, so that kind of adds to the weight. But you know what? It's solid, and that adds that look, don't you think? With that subframe lock. I mean, that's kind of the look you need to go for. So I like that. I do. I mean, that's part of the charm of this whole design. But, you know, this is very easy one-hand operation stuff, folks. Now, it's not a super lightweight, but let's put the tape of the tail of the tape here. So, you know, that's kind of how that Bodega was rocking it too. Like 3 3/4 now up here. I mean, you see the bolster sliding up forward. So it's 3.5 there. 3 3/4 down here. So and your cutting length is a little over 3.5, right? 8 1/4 overall length. So the same length as the Spyderco Paramilitary 2 at close to 21 centimeters. All right. And let me see, where's my calipers at? Okay. So 0.51. Not that fat, actually, at 13.1. I mean, 12 would be thinner, you know. But 13's not bad. And 3.6 millimeter blade thickness at 0.14. So, no, it's not. And let's put it on a scale. How carryable is it? At 8 1/4, it's carryable from a size standpoint. But what's the weight doing to us? And there's the weight. It's under 5 ounces. I'd say that's extremely carryable then. I mean, to me. Now, you may want it in the 3 zone or whatever, but I think this makes it acceptable. This is a middleweight. It's not a heavyweight. If it was 5.5, closer to 6, then you'd have to get your wife to carry it for you in her purse. But, oh, just kidding. And then 139 grams. Come on, get at it. You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming at you. And then harpoonish. So you throw in a recurve, which is styling and profiling. Then you throw in the harpoon blade and the multi-ground and the hollow ground and a really hard D2 blade. It's a little piece of heaven. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And they're going to do some stuff. I ain't going to tell you. But, you know, I extorted Mark at the booth at an Atlanta Blade show saying, tell me, I said something to him about what I thought they needed to do, and he says, we're working on it. But I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. I'd have to kill you if I told you. But I think, we're going to see some more good stuff coming our way from Begg Knives. So I'll give you the website below, and you can search around. These are at retailers, so if you've got like credits and points on this side or that side, or you got a discount code or something, take advantage of it. Check it out. See what you think. I mean, obviously, these are number 6s, and there's only 2 screws in the whole thing. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holy crappy. Yeah, and there's 5 on this side too, not counting the pivot screw. So yeah, and we might bust it apart. I don't know if I feel like it or not, but it's got bearings in it. I tore the bodega apart, and I don't believe they were ceramic bearings, okay? But other than that, it was pretty boring. It was just, and it was a bunch of screws too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 for this. So it was 7 of them. So look at this one and pretend it's this one, because you know what? There ain't no point. Ain't no point. But yeah, I tore the bodega apart, and it's screws and non-ceramic bearings, okay? Other than that, nothing terribly exciting to look at, as you can see in here, right? I mean, so this is steel here. Let's get Mr. Maggie out. Yeah, I think that's steel. Yeah, I think so. And then this is just G10 here, which is nice, and it's really durable stuff. I like the G10, but the ergos here are good, right? And you have a differential, so this is easy to disengage. Just like that. Boom, disengage, right like that, right? Do I have to say anything about the design? I mean, it's freaking world class, okay? It rolls into the bolster here. Blade to handle length is wonderful, wonderful. And just the overall look of this whole thing. And for the price, I mean, you could say, well, D2 and G10, I mean, I can get, you can get a Ganso for $25 in D2 and G10. Okay, I get you. You can't get a Begg full-size 62 Rockwell D2 hollow grind blade for that, though, in the Astio or this beautiful bodega. So that's one where maybe you're going to have to think about. Yeah, and I like one person that said something about titanium in D2. Who does that? Because some knife, I think, from Tucson came out in titanium with a D2 blade. And I go, I don't know. Medford? And then all of a sudden it was crickets. Medford, Browse. I mean, I can tell you a bunch of places that came out with a titanium handle and a D2 blade. So, yeah. But this D2, they put in the fire to it. Does that mean everything was done right and all the, tempering and everything, or it didn't have a hot spot grind or whatever? What the performance might be, I don't know. I know one thing. When they put the dimple in it, it said 62.1, which is better than 59 or 58 or whatever. So we're good with that. We're good with the ergos. Reverse grip feels good as well. And it's big enough knife, but it's not too big and it's not too heavy. And so these are both, you know, the Bodega, love the Bodega. See, you're not going to hurt it either. Go to, it's G10. G10, 5,000 years they'll dig it up. It'll look just like this. It's G10. And the Astio too. And it'll like, this must have been a knife enthusiast. The blade looks like it's never been cut. It's never cut. It's like, yeah, you damn right. Fanboys, get ready. Never cut and only carried with pride. But these, no, you can go out, do what the hell you want because they're so inexpensive. So check them out. I'll give you the link to the Begg Knives thing, but also, I mean, I'll put one in there for White Mountain if they have them in stock, or put, you know, notify me when they come back in, blah, 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 and that, and they're quaking, that kind of thing. So check out their line that they've got, you know, for the budget-minded people. And, you know, have fun with it, because these are knives that were a dream to me back in 2014, 15, whatever. And stayed a dream for a long time, but now here they are and they're affordable. So you look like the stud with these now, but you ain't having to pay that kind of price. By the way, one last thing. Website alert. Yes, Love Them Knives is now selling billions of knives that are pre-owned. Like these are now pre-owned, right? Never cut, never carried. No, yeah, but they've been carried. Actually, they have been carried, but never cut. Well, except the paper stuff I've done. And other than that, disclaimers all over the place. Okay, but check it out. There's all kinds of crazy stuff coming and going from this site, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And if you want to sell your knives on my website, email me. Email me. My email address is down below. Because you know what we do? We love them knives. So you guys, stay sharp.